What if the most advanced fighter jet on Earth has already fought wars the world was never told about? While the United States studies simulations and war games, Israel's F-35 has been flying real combat missions inside the world's most dangerous airspaces. The lessons learned in silence are now quietly reshaping how America plans its next major war, and almost no one is talking about it. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today's story begins with a fact that shocks even military insiders. The most combat-experienced F-35 force on Earth is not American, it is Israeli. While most nations are still learning how to operate the fifth-generation fighter, Israel has already taken it into real wars, against real enemies, under real missile threats. These missions were not exercises, they were deep strike operations inside heavily defended regions, where failure meant pilots would not return home. Israel's F-35 Hydra was used to penetrate advanced air defense networks, collect intelligence, strike high-value targets, and exit undetected. What makes this shocking is that much of this combat experience never appeared in headlines. There were no press conferences, no dramatic footage, and no official battle reports. Yet behind closed doors, this experience is priceless. Every radar interaction, every electronic response, every enemy reaction was recorded, analyzed, and refined. And here is the critical point: the United States is watching very closely. The future of American air warfare is no longer being shaped only in Pentagon offices, it is being shaped by Israeli combat data gathered in silence. Israel's version of the F-35 is not just another export model. The F-35 Hydra is uniquely modified, allowing Israel to integrate its own electronic warfare systems, mission software, and classified weapons. This independence gives Israel the freedom to adapt the aircraft faster than any other operator. When Israel flies combat missions, it is not limited by foreign approval chains or delayed software updates. This matters because modern air warfare changes rapidly. Enemy radar systems evolve, missile tracking improves, electronic warfare becomes more complex. Israel's ability to rapidly update its F-35 systems based on real combat encounters creates a living laboratory of modern war. American planners understand this advantage. While the U.S. Air Force prepares for large-scale conflicts against peer adversaries, Israel provides something simulations cannot: real-world proof. Every Israeli mission reveals how stealth performs under pressure, how sensors behave in contested environments, and how pilots manage information overload in combat. These insights flow back into joint assessments, shaping American tactics, training doctrines, and future upgrades. In simple terms, Israel's F-35 experience compresses years of American learning into months. That makes it one of the most strategically valuable partnerships in modern military aviation. One of the most critical lessons Israel provides is how stealth truly works in real combat. Stealth is not invisibility. It is a balance of detection ranges, radar angles, emissions control, and tactical timing. Israeli pilots have tested this balance against modern air defense systems, learning when stealth is strongest and when it needs support from electronic warfare and intelligence assets. These lessons directly influence how America plans future operations against heavily defended regions. Israel has demonstrated that the F-35 is not just a strike aircraft, it is a sensor node. During missions, Israeli F-35s collect enormous amounts of electronic and radar data, mapping enemy systems without firing a single weapon. This information dominance role is now central to U.S. strategy. The aircraft becomes the eyes and ears of the entire force, guiding missiles, drones, ships, and ground units. Israel's combat use confirms that wars will be decided not by who fires first, but by who understands the battlefield faster. For the United States, facing adversaries with layered defenses, this confirmation is invaluable. It validates years of investment and refines how future wars will be fought. Another major impact of Israel's F-35 experience is on electronic warfare doctrine. Modern wars are no longer decided by bombs alone, they are decided by signals, data, and deception. Israeli F-35 missions have shown how electronic warfare can blind, confuse, and manipulate enemy defenses before a single strike occurs. These techniques influence American planning at the highest levels. The U.S. military is increasingly focused on multi-domain operations, where air, cyber, space, and electronic warfare merge into a single battlefield. Israel's combat data proves that the F-35 is a central platform in this approach. It can disrupt enemy communications, expose hidden threats, and coordinate attacks across vast distances. These lessons are now shaping how America prepares for conflicts where traditional air superiority may be contested. Instead of relying solely on overwhelming force, future wars will rely on information control. Israel's experience provides real-world confirmation that this strategy works, giving American planners confidence in their evolving doctrine. Pilot experience is another area where Israel quietly shapes American strategy. Israeli pilots operate in one of the most complex threat environments on Earth. They face advanced missiles, dense radar coverage, and unpredictable political consequences. This forces a level of discipline and adaptability that few air forces experience in peacetime. Their feedback on cockpit workload, sensor fusion, and decision-making under pressure feeds directly into training improvements. The U.S. Air Force studies these insights carefully. It affects how American pilots are trained, how missions are planned, and how human-machine interaction evolves. Israel's experience highlights key truth. Future wars will overwhelm pilots with information unless systems are refined. These lessons are influencing interface updates, automation priorities, and even the role of artificial intelligence in combat aircraft. The goal is clear: to reduce pilot burden while increasing battlefield awareness. Israel's combat-tested feedback accelerates this evolution, giving America a critical edge. Israel's F-35 operations also influence how America thinks about escalation and deterrence. Israeli strikes are often designed to send messages without triggering full-scale war. Precision, stealth, and deniability are central to this approach. These concepts are increasingly relevant to U.S. strategy, especially in gray zone conflicts where open war is politically risky. The F-35's ability to operate without detection supports limited, controlled use of force. Israel's experience shows that dominance does not always require visibility. Sometimes, the most powerful move is one the enemy cannot prove happened. This thinking is now reflected in American planning for future conflicts, where managing escalation is as important as winning battles. The F-35 becomes a tool not just of war, but of strategic signaling. Logistics and sustainment lessons also emerge from Israel's combat use. Maintaining stealth aircraft during active operations is complex and demanding. Israel has refined rapid turnaround procedures, maintenance practices, and operational readiness under pressure. These insights directly support American efforts to prepare for prolonged conflicts. The U.S. understands that future wars may strain supply chains and bases. Israel's experience demonstrates how to keep advanced aircraft operational despite constant threats. This knowledge influences base design, maintenance doctrine, and deployment strategies. In a future war, sustainability may determine victory as much as firepower. Perhaps the most profound influence is psychological. Israel's demonstrated willingness to use the F-35 in real combat changes how adversaries perceive the aircraft. It is no longer theoretical, it is proven. This affects enemy planning, resource allocation, and risk calculations. For the United States, this psychological impact is strategic gold. Deterrence works best when capability is credible. Israel's actions make the F-35's reputation tangible. This strengthens America's position without firing a shot. Adversaries must assume that what Israel has done, the United States can do at much larger scale. Israel's combat experience also feeds into future aircraft development. Lessons learned today influence the design of next-generation fighters, drones, and networked systems. The U.S. is already integrating these insights into future air dominance programs. The battlefield is becoming more connected, more automated, and more information-driven. Israel's F-35 missions act as a preview of this future. They reveal what works, what fails, and what must evolve. This accelerates innovation and reduces costly mistakes. In many ways, Israel is stress-testing the future of air warfare on behalf of its allies. The story of Israel's F-35 is not just about one aircraft or one nation, it is about how modern wars are learned in silence and applied globally. While headlines focus on numbers and budgets, the real revolution happens in classified debrief rooms, where combat data reshapes doctrine. Israel's experience is quietly guiding how America prepares for its next major conflict. The next big war may not look like the last. It will be faster, quieter, and more information-driven, and many of its rules are being written right now, based on lessons learned far from public view. If you value deep military analysis that goes beyond headlines, make sure to like this video, subscribe to WarVex Intelligence, and turn on notifications. Share this with anyone interested in modern warfare, defense strategy, and the future of global conflict.